Yes, Abbas is coming to DC maybe mid-April, from what we understand. Um, what do they do after that? We've heard talk about trying to convene some kind of regional summit. The core issues, nothing has changed in terms of the gulfs between the sides. Just to take an issue like Jerusalem, Israel annexed the old city and East Jerusalem after the '67 war, and certainly the Netanyahu government has given no indication of any readiness for compromise anywhere in Jerusalem. The Palestinians insist on control of the old city and all the territory that were captured in '67 as part of an independent Palestinian state. No amount of sensitive engagement is going to, certainly to date, has moved the sides. Is Trump going to be able to use different leverage? Is a different style going to actually affect the core positions? Very, very hard to be optimistic about that when you've seen time and again that the sides seem to be so far apart. Now, maybe the president believes that he has particular skills that have not been attempted in this part of the world, and maybe Netanyahu, for example, believes that the regional climate is more positive and constructive and so on. Still, it's hard to believe that with even the most inspired negotiating tactics, and even in a slightly more encouraging, wider context, that the core positions that are so far apart are going to change.
It seemed to me that Prime Minister Netanyahu was hoping that it wasn't really a mission of the two sides. It was a mission of trying to reach an understanding with the Trump administration about what Israel should or can be doing in terms of settlements, what's permissible, what is understood by Washington and accepted by Washington. I don't think he got that, did he?
Not as far as we know, and I would stress that going ahead, we're in unpredictable territory. But we saw an administration that, on the Israeli right at least, there was an anticipation that the embassy would move, that there'd be a relative carte blanche on settlement building, that there'd basically be almost uncritical solidarity with the imperatives of this particular coalition. Now, that may turn out to be the case, but it certainly isn't the case yet. Mm-hmm. And in fact, the signals have been the opposite. They haven't moved the embassy, although there was an intention to early on. And on settlement, Trump himself has said unmistakable things. If Trump now comes out and says all settlement is fine by me, that will have been an absolute reversal of his publicly stated position since taking up the presidency. And therefore, things have played out in an unexpected way to date. I don't know what happens tomorrow. But, two meetings between Greenblatt and Netanyahu, you did not see white smoke emerging. Yes, we've coordinated positions on settlements. I suspect there is some coordination. I'm sure that I don't believe that the Trump administration is going to make the Obama-style fuss about all building in post-1967 Jewish neighborhoods in East Jerusalem. I suspect they're not going to make too much of a fuss about building within the blocks, but they didn't reach an agreement. Although we're not sure about that. Go on, sorry.
No, just before the arrival of Greenblatt, Netanyahu insisted that Emona, a new settlement, will be built instead of Emona.
And maybe it will, and maybe it won't, but you didn't hear, publicly at least, we have reached agreement on this. You heard Netanyahu saying, I'm going to be building this settlement. You did not hear the well-disposed, empathetic American envoy saying, yes, we have resolved the issue. He could easily have said, this is a special case, or the president could say it, or something. We haven't heard that yet. Does that mean we won't hear it? I don't know. Maybe tomorrow there'll be a statement that says we've reached coordination. Obviously, I don't know. But we certainly didn't hear it this week.